minutes, so can I get you to move across just right up to the edges? We've got 100 people coming in and 100 chairs.
Yeah.
How are we looking? Are we on? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DuePoint. Those that are here this evening and those around the country, thank you for tuning in and watching us this evening. It is a very exciting evening that it stands before you right now. I promise you, you will leave changed this evening. Maybe negatively, but definitely changed this evening as a result of the next 60 minutes. Folks, DuePoint is a division of Constantia Insurance Company.
Brendan, stop right there. We do about 4 of these business presentations a week, and every time Brendan talks to the audience, he doesn't allow any heckling. He'll always say to you, please come to me afterwards to ask questions. But we've got a surprise format this evening. We're going to interject and we're going to heckle, and we're going to give him trouble throughout this presentation. This is what we call Throwdown Thursday, guys.
Yeah, there we go. Throwdown Thursday.
And if Brendan can convince me this evening, perhaps by the end of the presentation, he'll have you guys convinced about what we're going to show you this evening.
It's all right. I'm an accountant, so I have a tremendous personality. I can take all of this. I can take all of this. Folks, as I was saying, DuePoint is a division of Constantia Insurance Company.
No one's heard of them.
Yeah. Nobody's heard of Constantia, but...
Anyone?
Anyone? Hands up.
Anyone seen the orange logo
There we go.
before?
Right, 1 out of 100. That's pretty. 2 out of 100. There we go. All right, folks, you may not have heard of Constantia, but Constantia has been around for more than 60 years now, registered at for the very first time in 1952, just after World War II, when insurance was a booming business, as you can imagine. Folks, you may not have heard of them, but Constantia has been involved in the background of the South African financial services and insurance industry for many, many decades. And if you go away and you do some research on us, you will find just how much we've influenced the South African insurance space over the last 60 years. And now we have DuePoint, and that's what you're here for this evening. So DuePoint, ladies and gentlemen, this is the team. You'll find us wandering around the passages. I am by far the best looking one over here and most interesting. You will find me the most entertaining with my accounting background.
Okay, let me interject again, because you can see the accountants have set up the presentation. That's why it's so monochromatic. They start to stress out if there's more than 3 colors on the slide. Let me introduce the team to you, because they are way more colorful than what you might think. We have Mr. Busy over here, right? The typical accountant. He's got his schedule mapped out in Excel from 5 a.m. until midnight every night. Wakes up in the middle of the night thinking about things he needs to stress about within the business, but obviously doing his best to make DuePoint the best company in South Africa. We have Mr. Fussy, who is working the live web stream over there at the moment. Tim heads up our finances, and as well as the compliance. We need to regulate ourselves with regards to the FSB to make sure that we are in line with all of that. We don't want to step on anyone's toes and have the FSB calling us. We have little Miss Brainy, who undersells herself constantly and is probably the smartest one in the bunch. Those are the 3 accountants over there. You can see they've got a little clique that they formed here, and Jane and I are kind of left on our own on the right here. We have little Miss Friendly. Jane is the smile of DuePoint. She's not scared to approach anyone. She's got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, and she sits in reception at the moment, and she welcomes everyone with open arms that comes to the office. And then me, of course, non-accountant. Anyone who isn't an accountant in the building could be considered Mr. Fun in comparison to the rest of them.
All right, now you see, if we leave the presentation to Rob, we'll be here all night. That's what colors bring. Waste of time. So we're back now. We're back to nice, simple colors. I can understand these colors a lot better. Folks, why are you here this evening? You're not here to hear about Constantia, and you're not here to hear about the team. You're here because you're in the same set of circumstances as everybody else in South Africa today. Now, again, at this point, you could probably go, oh, I've heard this before. Well, actually, have a quick look around you. Have a look at what's happening every day. Don't you think it's amazing that we live in a country where every morning there can be a significant political event in the newspaper? I mean, there's 365 days in a year. That is a lot of significant political events to occur. Mixed in with that is we have significant economic events occurring in our country regularly. It is a frightening time to be living in South Africa, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's not isolated to South Africa either. If you look at what's going on in the world today, we're arguably in the most precarious position as a world, as a planet, that we've been in since, I would say, probably World War II. The economics of what's going on globally and the economics of what is going on in South Africa has put us into a position of chaos. I feel it. I feel the chaos that I live in every day. There is no security in my earnings anymore. You know, before, when you were younger, your parents brought you up with the suggestion that there was only 2 ways that you could make a living in this country. Only 2 ways you could make a living anywhere. One was by getting a good education and getting a good job, and the other was by starting your own business. Folks, I can spend half an hour telling you why those are no longer viable options, but I'm going to just encourage you to think about it for a minute. How many people are being retrenched in South Africa right now? Too many. Every week that I look in the newspaper, another mine is being closed down. Another firm's being closed down. My acquaintances, my friends are telling me all the time, I'm having to shut my business down. My business has lost all of its value. You know, with the political and economic events that are occurring in South Africa right now, can you say that your job is 100% secure moving forward? Can you say that? You know, and I say this again without any prejudice, but as a white male, I have no security in standard employment anymore. I just don't. I mean, that's a reality. It might not feel politically correct, but it's a reality. There's no security for me anymore. But for those that are out there wanting to become entrepreneurs, start their own businesses. How do you start business in an economic environment where there is no security. People are being retrenched. Income levels are dropping constantly. Who is going to fund your business? That's the reality we're in. But you know, none of us started like that. None of us started like that. When we are young, we're invincible. We're absolutely invincible. We look at the future and we have aspirations. We have dreams of the impossible, and none of us doubt that we'll get there. Now, what we do on the suggestions of our parents is we set ourselves on a path of education. We choose a career. Nurse, teacher, accountant, doctor, plastic surgeon, engineer, whatever. We choose it, and we put ourselves down that path for many years of study and effort until we get that first job. And when we get that first job, it has this awesome thing, this awesome effect. It plugs us straight into the financial system. And the first thing you get is a bank account. And that bank account gets you a credit card. And all of a sudden, your dreams seem like you're getting closer to them. This is all happening. It's all starting. And that credit card and that bank account lead to your first real debt instrument, your car loan. Your car loan. So first thing, I can now buy a car. And I'll bet you when you bought that first car, you were not thinking about the debt instrument that was hanging at the bottom of it. You were like, yeah, I just got my first car. I'm on my way to my dreams. But you know what happens in the years that follow that? You realize that that money that you were earning, the money that you're still earning, and even if it's increasing, is just not covering all the realities of life. There are just too many draws on it. There are these things called emergencies. That was something that happened to your parents, not something that happened to you. But since you've left your parents, now you've got emergencies that you have to fund. Very expensive emergencies. Often, there's more education that has to take place, or you're still trying to pay off your education loan before. And these things just start adding up, and all of a sudden, you've got this thing called retirement that had never even been considered in your mind before, that's now rushing up on you. It's rushing up on you. The years are passing, and the reality is you're not going to be able to work forever. What is going to happen when you get to that point? And all of a sudden, you find your dreams and your aspirations start fading away. That's the position we're all in.
Shapers. If that wasn't fear-mongering, what was? Surely it's not that bad.
Rob, let's just look at the facts. Let's look at the facts here. I'm not going to tell you anything that's emotional and subjective. I'm going to just look at the objective facts with you. Life is a journey of debt. This is how it starts. There's you over there. Sorry, let me just do that again for you. It starts over here. You start that journey that I explained to you, and you start out life, you get your first job, and you get your first debt instrument, a car loan. Then you meet somebody. Tell me if this is not the regular story. You meet somebody. That's somebody you marry. They now also want a car. You've got 2 debt instruments. You then need to get a place to stay, and you get your first home loan. That's 3 debt instruments. Then you make the mistake of having children. Now you have medical expenses, education expenses, and no free time. Okay? You need a bigger house. And they grow up, and they need cars, and they need university education. And you go from 3 debt instruments to 5 debt instruments to 7 debt instruments, and you find yourself over here, 50, 55, and you've got home loans, car loans, credit cards, Edgar's accounts, Woolworths accounts, all of these things. And it has run away with you. And those dreams and aspirations, that poster of the car, the poster of the wife, the poster of the house, are all gone. We've all settled that we're never going to get them anymore. Rob, does that not speak to you?
Listen, I don't know if I've settled yet. Fortunately, I'm only about halfway through your journey of debt over there. Not quite 40. Very close. I've got plenty options available to me.
What's your options, Rob? Go on.
Options. I could, over and above my day job, I could start a side business. I believe I have certain entrepreneurial flair. I was fairly good at photography in the agency that I ran for 15 years before all of this. It's something I can do on the side, and it makes fairly good money.
Absolutely, Rob. How much does it cost to buy a professional digital SLR these days?
Excluding the lenses, 50 grand,
50 grand without lenses? Rob, I just explained to you, you have no money. You have no money. This is the reality of starting your own business. Many people do this. Many people go, it's fine, I'll get my wife to sell cookies. I'll get her to do that. Or she's a fantastic seamstress. We'll get her to make dresses. The big question is, remember you made the mistake of having children? Remember you made that? When? When is that going to happen? That's the first thing. When do you find the time to build a business in addition to your job? You need your job because you need that income. Then comes the sheer cost of it all. If you start something relatively big, you need an office, you need staff, accounting systems, regulatory issues, licenses and training and all of this jazz. All of that covers tax, all of that costs money. That costs money. How's your money?
Okay, scrap the photography idea. I could reskill myself. I'm at a pretty good age to do an MBA. Everyone seems to be doing it. Reskill, maybe get into something else that demands more pay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great suggestion. And reskilling yourself is important. And in the traditional employment structure, getting another degree means that you're moved up in the queue of retrenchment. Just means that they retrench you later. It does. It just means you're later. That's what happens, okay? Folks, we just again explained to Rob that he doesn't have any money, okay? To get an MBA these days, it is sort of accredited and recognized. You're looking at 100 to 200,000 rand. If you want to go overseas and get an MBA overseas, it's about 1.5 million rand, okay? That's the MBA. Now, maybe you choose not to reskill yourself like that. Maybe you're a teacher and want to become a chartered accountant. Okay, that's great. That's 7 years, 4 years at university, and 3 years in articles with 2 board exams that has to be written. And then, Rob, you have to start in the post room again. You've been working, how long have you been working for now, Rob?
Total hours or years? 20 years.
20 years, you want to start in the post office again, the post room again.
Okay. I've got more options.
You got more options.
I told you I'm creative. I've got plenty of ideas. Just tell me you want another idea. So another idea could be to make sure that I'm the star in the business. Make sure I get the bonus, I get the best increase in the company.
That's right.
Exactly.
You want to move up the ranks, get the promotion, get the bonus. It's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. Absolutely, all of us have that fire in our belly. We want to get there. We want to. So if we can't start a business and we can't reskill, let's get moving up the ladder in the business that we're working in. Let's move up that ladder. Have you ever had a look around you? You've seen how many staff are working for you? If you work for a major corporation, we were talking the other day, Anglo, the CEO looks after 160,000 employees, all right? Now, you might not be working for Anglo, but let's use them as an example right now. That means you're one of 160,000 people all vying for the promotion. And you know what? You have no control over whether you'll get it. You have no control of how much or when you'll receive your bonus, and you have no control over how much your increase or when your increase will come. You might, however, get a letter that says you won't be getting anything anymore. That's the reality of the South African employment space right now. So, Rob, I don't know. How are you looking at the moment?
I'm running out of options at the moment. Yeah, gigolo.
Gigolo.
Tax-free.
Tax-free. Regulation-free.
Yeah.
Well,
Work my own hours.
If DuePoint doesn't work, that's where we're going, boy.
Okay, I don't think my
Start a
wife would
brothel.
want me to become a gigolo. So maybe I'm out of options. I'm hoping you have a very good solution.
Absolutely, I'm a chartered accountant. Of course, I've got a solution.
Sure, yeah.
Folks, this is the reality of the environment that we live in. And we as the DuePoint team sat down and said we have to create a solution. Something that is immediate, something that is material, and something everybody can do, no matter their job title, no matter their position in society. For a lot of people, they often think, well, I've got a great job, there's nothing else I can do. Well, no. We are going to give you the option this evening of something that you can do that will change your life forever. We call it the DuePoint System.
Okay, your whole description of that is what we in the advertising world call blue sky. You know, the stuff the marketing person writes out and no one really understands.
I'm going to
So
count
I'm
it.
hoping you're going to get to the nuts and bolts of the DuePoint
Absolutely.
system.
The DuePoint System is extremely simple. If we're going to make this practical for everybody, it's got to be simple. This is how it works. You as an individual contract with us, the insurance company DuePoint, as what we call a wealth engineer. As a wealth engineer, you have one task. That task is to build a channel of distribution for us. Now, if anybody studied economics here, you'll know what a channel of distribution is. It's a little bit like Checkers. Checkers is a channel of distribution. It has a shop in every city in South Africa, and when somebody makes something like a bar of soap or a foodstuff of sorts, they come to Checkers and say, I can't get this to all of the South Africans. I can't get my product. Will you put it in all your shops? Will you distribute it to all your shops and sell it? And that's how the person who makes the product gets distribution. We at DuePoint want the same thing from you. We want you to create a channel of distribution into which we, DuePoint the insurer, sell our products into that channel and get to all of South Africa's citizens.
But Brendan, I'm not willing to now start at square one again, resign, and come work for a new company and start at the bottom.
Absolutely, exactly as we described it. 20 years in, you don't want to be starting a new career. And so the DuePoint system is designed to create for you extra income, not to replace your income. We're not asking any of you to quit your jobs. As I said, this is for everybody. We might have people here, well, we do have people here in very senior positions. They're not going to give up on that career. What we do is we start to bridge the gap between what you're earning currently and your debt and your expenditure. And once we've bridged that gap, we take it further to start accelerating the repayment of your debt and start creating for you an asset that pays you into your retirement to the last day, to your last breath. It is a recurring income. So again, we're not selling something here that every month you have to run off to your friends again or whoever it is that you've spoken to and say, please, please buy it again, and exhaust yourself through the process. No. All of ours are run off of a debit order system with state-of-the-art collection system so that every month that payment is made and every month you make your income on a recurring basis.
But a few slides ago, you just told me that I don't have any extra time.
Oh, absolutely.
My wife doesn't really let me out the house unless I have a very good reason anyway, so I can't get into something that's going to take up my time.
We realize this very real fact of life today. None of us have time anymore. We just don't have time. And if any of you are a professional, you will know that the only time you are making money is when your two hands are working. That's the only time. The moment your two hands stop working, the income stops. Folks, we have utilized in the DuePoint system a very well-known economic process which is called the power of duplication. It's like, imagine a factory. The guy who owns the factory could do all the work himself, but he would produce 1,000th of what he could do if he hired 100 people to run all the machines for him. With the power of duplication, the DuePoint system, you harness the daylight hours and the efforts and thoughts and power of hundreds of people to build a channel for you that earns you income you could not have earned by yourself. It is completely flexi time, which means that you can do it at 20 minutes a week or you can do it at 40 hours a week. It is designed to be completely convenient and to leave you completely independent.
And I'm hoping it costs less than professional cameras and lenses.
And that, of course, is our other problem. How much is it going to cost? Well, there is absolutely no cost for being a wealth engineer at DuePoint. No startup cost and no monthly cost. This is not a risky decision for you. This is not one of those things where they're like, you put 15,000 Rand down today and you can become. That's not what we do here. There is no risk in the decision to become a wealth engineer. Tonight, if you choose to become a wealth engineer, you can wake up tomorrow morning and say, those two white boys on the stage completely fooled me last night and I'm done with this. Never do anything with your registration as a wealth engineer. It will have cost you nothing. It will have cost you nothing at all. It is for everyone, no qualifications or experience required.
But now it just seems that I'm going to be in the same situation again. I'm just going to have a second boss and I'm going to be making someone else wealthy.
Yes.
That doesn't appeal to me whatsoever.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't appeal to me either. In fact, it doesn't appeal to me at all. What you are building here is not another line of employment. You are building an asset that is yours, an asset that is saleable, an asset that is transferable, and an asset that will outlive you. Because once you've built your channel and it is earning income, you can bequeath it to your family members. When you pass away, your wife can get the earnings of that channel. Your children can get the earnings of the channel, and they can choose to continue to build it if they choose to do it. It is something of real value. That is what we've tried to achieve here, Rob.
Okay, so I like everything that I've heard so far, but I'm starting to get a little nervous because I'm waiting for the slide that tells me that I need to start selling toothpaste. Do I look like a toothpaste salesman?
No, you're not. We know that Rob is a horrible salesperson, and that's why we specifically designed the system for DuePoint, that there is absolutely no selling involved in it. This is arguably the biggest fear of mankind. They always say it's public speaking and then debt. They always just leave out selling. People always, the first thing they say, Brendan, I love DuePoint, but I can't sell. We know you can't sell. We know you're horrible at selling. We've seen you in action. We have seen you in action, and we know. So there is no selling. I am much better at selling than you are. It's the one skill I have. And we do the selling into your channels for you Your task is just the construction of a channel, which we'll get into quite shortly. Rob, you think you can do that?
I think I can do that. I don't know what these channels of distribution are, so I think you better explain that a little more in depth.
Simple, simple, simple. And this is normally where people get a little bit lost, but it's very simple task. Forming a channel of distribution is just leveraging all of your social circles. All of you know people. You open up your cell phone, every one of you will have at least 200 contacts in your cell phone. At least. And that's just the start of all the social circles that you move through all the time in life. Your task as a wealth engineer is to tell everybody about DuePoint. Tell them about it. Tell them about how we're trying to tackle the problem that is very, very alive in South Africa today, and tell them about how you're choosing to make a change to your current financial circumstances. People will understand that. They will appreciate that, and they will become wealth engineers for DuePoint. And when they do, we allocate them to you, and your channel starts to form. And as they go out and do exactly the same task, talking to other people about DuePoint, those that catch the vision of their aspirations and dreams again and become wealth engineers are allocated to you, and allocated to you, and allocated to you. And all of a sudden, you've got a channel that's 10, hundreds, maybe thousands big, all working towards your financial future.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Between me and my wife and I, we must have about 7,000 Facebook friends. So I'm going to be flipping stinking rich by the end of the month.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is not one of those things, okay? They're not one of those things you've read about in the newspaper. And they're not one of those things where you put money in and at the end of the week you get 30% more. No. DuePoint is a legitimate income earning and creation opportunity. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes consistent thought for you to be earning and changing your life with the DuePoint system. This is legitimate earning. Nothing in life of real value is obtained quickly. Nothing. Nothing in life. But, Rob, I know your next question. Your next question is, well, how much am I going to earn if I'm not going to be rich in the next few weeks? Well,
exactly. I've got heavyweights in the room. I've got arms dealers. I've got commodity brokers. I've got bankers in the room that I brought here tonight. They are most definitely going to want to see some money.
Absolutely. I'm a bit concerned about the arms dealer, but okay, here we go. There are two ways of earning with the DuePoint system. Two ways. The first is what we call our base return. Our base return is every time somebody who's taken one of DuePoint's products in your channel makes a payment, you get 27 Rand 50 multiplied by a factor of where that payment was made in your channel. So for instance, those folk that you spoke to in the beginning and became wealth engineers and were allocated to you as the beginning of your channel, every time they make a payment, you get 27 Rand 50 times by 200%. That's 55 Rand. You'll see there's not 50 cents, it's not 5 Rand, it's 55 Rand every month that someone pays their product. Every month, okay? The same happens again on point 2. These are people here that have spoken to people who've been allocated to your channel. You now get 27 Rand 50 times 200%. This continues as your channel grows and as payments are made each month, all the way to what we call the 8th point in your channel. That's people who have introduced people, who've introduced people, who've introduced people, who've introduced people, all the way to the 8th point. These are people you don't know. And at the 8th point, you are now earning 4% of 27 Rand 50. But with returns at DuePoint, there is no limit to how much you can earn. From the 8th point forward, every point thereafter, you earn 4% of 27 Rand 50. So if you've got 12 points in your channel and a payment is made on the 12th point, you get 4% of 27 Rand 50. If you've got 30 points in your channel, you've been building for a few years, you'll get 4% of 27 Rand 50 where you qualify on that point.
Okay,
Rob,
I
good?
appreciate the mechanics of your return, but like I said, I've got heavyweights. 27 Rand 50 is not going to get any of them excited. I need to know how much am I going to earn down the line.
And Rob, we totally expected this of you. And so what we did is we went out and we drew a picture. I got my daughter to draw a picture. Okay, no. So we went out and we drew a picture. We
like
buried
pictures.
ourselves in the dark. You drew the picture, yeah. We got Rob to draw the picture. And what we did is we went out and we said, okay, using the experience that we have, and we've been in this industry now for the best part of 15 years, we said, with the experience that we have and the data we have collected, what could we expect someone as a brand new wealth engineer that's never done anything like this before in their lives to earn over time with the DuePoint system. And we came up with what we call the 3+2 growth formula. Now, the 3+2 growth formula is just an example, guys. I get a lot of people who go, do I need to? No, it's just an example that I'm going to show you. It is a very conservative example, we believe, because people who've done this before have done much better than this. But I'm just trying to show you conservatively what we expect you to earn. So 3+2 means that in your very first month, you put just 3 people into your channel on your first point. Just 3 people. And every month thereafter, you just put 2 people in a month. That's 1 person every 2 weeks. So that's not a big ask. That's not like, wow, I have to put 15 people in every week. No. You go out and you talk to 1 person every 2 weeks, and you get them in on your first point. 3+2. If you're able to do that, and applying all the data we have of fall-offs, lapses, cancellations, and your inability to duplicate that growth formula into your channel, we've taken that all into account. This is what we think you could earn with the DuePoint system. We think you could reasonably estimate this kind of money. If you were able to apply that 3+2 formula for the first 6 months, we reckon you'd be earning around about 2,500 Rand a month.
2,500 Rand a month. Can we make a queue here for everyone that wants to put in 6 months of work and get 2,500 Rand? All the heavyweights, you want to line up? Anyone?
Yeah. That's a typical response we get. That is the typical response we get. People go, 2,500 Rand, you must be joking. There's no ways. I bill that per hour. Yes, you do. But have you ever actually looked at the value of 2,500 Rand to you? If you have a R1 million house, which these days is basically entry level, it's hard. It's hard to find a house under R1 million Rand these days. If you had a bond and R1 million, it's about 10 or 11,000 Rand a month. I mean, with the interest rate going up, it could be 15 soon enough. 10 or 11,000 Rand a month that you pay over 20 years. If you were able to add 2,500 Rand a month to that bond, just 2.5, do you know what it does to that bond? It reduces the repayment period on that bond by 8.4 years. Now multiply that out. 11,000 Rand a month times 8.4 years. I'll give you a guess here, or I'll give you the answer. It's like R1 million. You save R1 million on a R1 million bond by putting 2,500 Rand more in a month. That's the value. And that's not to speak of those whose lives are dramatically changed because of just 2,500 Rands worth of income in South Africa. If you're able to push through to 12 months, though, we believe you'd be earning about 10,000 Rand a month. Now, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what title or how much you're earning, an extra 10,000 Rand a month you feel. It might not be changing your future and bringing that Lamborghini into your dreams again, but you're feeling it at 10,000 Rand a month. That's 12 months from now, folks. That's April next year. April next year. It's 120,000 Rand a year. Those of you who live in the northern suburbs, that's 2 kids in a private school. Okay? 2 kids in a private school after 12 months worth of effort. You're there. If you can push through to 2 years, we reckon you'll be earning around 27 to 30,000 Rand a month. Is that a better number, Rob?
Yeah, that's a way better number. My wife and I have often had the discussion, when would enough extra income mean that she can stay at home? That's kind of a dream. But I don't think 30,000 Rand is going to do it for her. But what it does mean is that I can buy a new Porsche 911. I think that's a great compromise. So
that is a great
24
compromise.
months work, I'll do that for a
2
new
years.
911.
2 years. You'll notice that here we haven't said you get 30% per week on your money. We've said 2 years of consistent effort, time, and involvement, and we'll get you enough money to finance a Porsche. Okay? Not buy a Porsche, finance a Porsche. 2 years, 30,000 Rand. Okay? If you can push through to 3 years, we reckon you'd be on about 45 to 50,000 Rand a month.
Okay, now it's getting more realistic. And I see there your clever designers put in at 30 months. What's that? Probably about 36,000 Rand a month, which reduces a 5 million Rand bond to less than 7 years. So I'm 39 and a half at the moment.
And 3/4, Rob.
So I could pay off a 5 million Rand bond every 7 years, do that 3 times at the age of 60, which was like 30 years ago kind of pension age. I could have paid off the 3 houses, be renting them out by the time I retire. I could have probably around 100,000 Rand in passive income as a retired pensioner.
Yeah, and that's off of 3 years worth of time, effort, and thought. 4 years, folks, and we think you'll be on about 60 to 65,000 Rand a month. 5 years, and you'll be on between 80 and 100,000 rand a month.
So that's like R1,000,000 a year.
That's more than R1 million a year, Rob.
More.
More. 1.2 million at 100,000 rand a month.
Okay, I'll have to check that
You'll have to
afterwards
check
in
that. Yeah.
Excel.
I'll download the Excel app for you, Rob.
Okay. Those are big numbers. I'm hoping that my heavyweight friends are impressed. I'm impressed. But, you've spoken about how the business works, but I actually don't have a clue how to even get started. Never done
Absolutely.
something like this before.
Absolutely, Rob. Absolutely. And we know that. We know that the vast majority of you are still got in your head, I can't sell, I can't sell. Now, we're trying to kill that because there's no selling. And the next question is, I don't know how to do this. What are they talking about here? And we know that. So what we did is we designed the second way you earn with DuePoint. This is our training program. It's called our DuePoint XP Rewards program. And what we do is we've designed steps for you to utilize and to do that take you from being a complete beginner wealth engineer all the way through to a complete expert. And as you complete the steps, we give you experience points, XP. We actually recognize your growing experience. And as your XP points accumulate and as your channel starts growing, we start rewarding you. In addition to the returns we've just shown you, we start rewarding you. So what do we reward you with? Well, we reward you with holidays, local holidays, international holidays. We reward you with new cars. You might be using your car a lot, new car, and we reward you with cash and tools to build your channel. This is basically...
Okay, hold on. Let me do this part because there are a couple of design aspects on this slide that the accountants just don't get. So it's better if I tell you guys about it. Like Brendan said, this is the XP Rewards program. There are 2 criteria that you need to meet to get the reward. So that's the reward there on the far right. The 2 criteria are you need XP. Those are the points for achieving those little steps and helping you become a better wealth engineer. The other criteria is the size of your channel. So with all the effort that you put in and your channel starts to build, you start to gain these rewards. And they get bigger and better. At rank 5, we give you a 1,200 Rand crystal memory stick.
A USB stick, Rob. A USB stick? You've been moaning at me the whole presentation. You're going to give me a USB
stick.
It's
not a USB stick. It's a crystal memory stick. If you go onto Pinterest and type in beautiful USB stick, it's going to pop up on the front page. But besides that, Brendan mentioned the tools that we give you guys to help you guys build your channels more effectively. And that's the memory stick. We put all our training videos, all the development seminars that we do, all the training collateral that we do. It all goes onto the memory stick to assist you guys in being better wealth engineers. If you get to rank number 7, we give you 7,000 Rand premium business cards. They
business cards.
They're beautiful business cards.
Business cards.
Beautiful business cards. Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. I left it to the design guy, you see.
I know what Brendan gets passionate about. Brendan, picture this. You're at a party. I know you don't get invited to parties much, but
No, that's true.
But just, let's go out
below
on
the
a
belt.
limb. Imagine you're at a party and someone arrives in a Bugatti Veyron.
All right, now we're talking.
I know that's your
I've got one on my desk.
favorite car. How long before you ask, who is this guy and what does he do?
Probably before he opens the door.
Exactly. These business cards are the Bugatti Veyron of business cards. They are printed on 700-gram blackboard that we need to import. It's got gold gilding around the edges. The logo is foiled in gold. When you put a business card like this in someone's hand, they are going to ask you what you do and who is DuePoint. Again, these are tools that are there to help you guys build your channels more effectively. But the rewards only get better. At rank 9, there's an annual family vacation. These are all once-off rewards, except for this one. Not a vacation just for the wealth engineer, you and your entire family. Business class flights to a 5-star resort. How many people do you know that take their entire family on business class flights on holiday every single year for a week? You know anyone that does that? This can happen with DuePoint. The car that Brendan mentioned, it is not a car that we put a DuePoint sticker on the back window. We buy the car cash, no branding, and we give it to you. No other hoops you guys need to jump through. And the rewards only get bigger and better. So you can only imagine what happens at rank 19 and 20. But as I tell you guys this, I'm starting to get a little worried that we're spending too much money. Way too much money. Are you sure you've done the maths? I don't think about unicorns.
So
I didn't design the slide.
No, you didn't. I designed this slide. And folks,
That's why it doesn't have any color.
the big question, that's right. Isn't it beautiful? The big question here is, who would you prefer to have done the maths? I don't know. I'm tending towards this side over here. Okay. Folks, I've been involved in this industry a very long time. Traditionally, the insurers and financial services companies of South Africa spend hundreds of millions on traditional forms of advertising. TV, billboards, cell phone advertising, radio advertising, hundreds of millions. I've been involved in this process. So we have years of data in how to price products to include the cost of the marketing expense. I've got bad news for you. About a third to nearly 50% of what you pay every month in your payments for insurance and bits and pieces like that is to pay for the marketing. Nearly a third. Okay? It is a lot of money that goes into marketing, and we price it in. Now, with DuePoint, of course, we have changed the model. You will never see DuePoint on a billboard. You will never see a TV advert for DuePoint, because we utilize the channels of distribution that you have created for us into which to sell our products. And so this R1 billion that was spent last year on advertising, we now make available to you and your channel, because we do not spend that money anywhere else.
Okay, I'm going to trust you on the maths. Fortunately, I know there are more accountants in our building than creatives, so I'm going to go with you on this one.
Yeah.
But you haven't mentioned the products, and I told you I'm not a toothpaste salesman.
No, absolutely.
So I'm getting nervous.
No, absolutely. I can appreciate that. I understand the tension around that. And what we did at DuePoint is we said that our products had to be performing the same function that the DuePoint system was. We had to have products that were tackling this problem that the average South African has. Too much debt, too little income, and a very unsecure future. And we wanted to do that in the products as well as in the system. So our very first product that we designed is we called our Access Wealth Plan. Our Access Wealth Plan, in essence, is a tax-free investment account. For 274 Rand a month, you get access to this tax-free investment account, which means that possibly for the first time in your life, you are building an asset that doesn't have a debt instrument hanging underneath it. Of the 274 Rand a month that you put in, the minimum investment of 100 Rand is put into a tax-free investment account for you that is available to you immediately and without any additional cost.
100 Rand a month is not going to do anything for me. Anything for me.
It's 1,200 Rand a year, Rob. I appreciate that. And we realized that too, the accountants. We did the maths. 1,200 Rand after a year of savings, plus a little bit of gain or loss from the investment. Folks, we know that that investing, like paying off a home loan, is a long-term exercise. You don't invest for 5 minutes, you invest for 20 years. But the reality is that life doesn't always turn out the way we expected it to. You could literally have been putting your 100 Rand away every month and get run over by a bus 12 months down, and your family get 1,200 bucks. But what we did was we built into the Access Wealth Plan 100,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover, which means that when that bus runs you over, your beneficiaries don't get just the 1,200 Rand that you've invested. They get 100,000 Rand. That's a pretty good funeral, Rob. That's a pretty good funeral.
For me.
For you. The second product that we designed was our Wealth Guard product. Our Wealth Guard product was actually designed in conjunction with the Access Wealth Plan, but it can be purchased separately. What it did was it further enhanced this risk protection. How do I give you something that gives you immediate value of a material amount? For an additional 249 Rand a month, we've now increased your personal accident cover by another R1 million. R1 million. So now when you get hit by that bus 12 months down, you don't just get the 12, your beneficiaries don't just get the 1,200 Rand. They get the 1,200 plus gains and losses on it and 1.1 million Rand. 1.1 million Rand. That's the best funeral you've ever had. As well as paying off your bond and your cars. That's what you leave behind. When do you have access to that? You have access to that after your very first payment. There is no waiting period. There is no medical examination, no medical declaration, and anyone of any age can take these two products with DuePoint. We believe we are first to market with these products.
So you reckon, for example, my folks, cancer in the family, old man with a gammy hip, Gammy Hart, he's going to be able to take this product for $249 a month.
For 249 Rand. Even if he's 85 years old, it's 249 Rand. First to market. We have removed the barriers to entry that most South Africans face when it comes to insurance. All right, our third product is our Wealth Points program.
All right, another exciting part of the presentation, which I'll take over. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks,
Thank
Rob.
you. Thank you. The Wealth Points program. This is actually the only non-financial product. It's called the Wealth Points program, also 249 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand is yours, gets converted into Wealth Points, which you are able to spend with our program partners. The first partner is the Entertainer. It is a buy one, get one free voucher system. Now that might sound very accounting and boring, but it is the premium buy one, get one system in the world. It gives you access to the top restaurants, not Steers.
Yeah.
Not Steers.
I like Steers.
The top restaurants around the country. You have access to the top spas around the country. So for the ladies who love to get facials and hair plucked out of areas and massages and all that type of thing, you've got access to those. Hotels around the world. Do you know the value of the vouchers that you have access to? Over 1.2 million rands worth of vouchers. This partner alone will save you more than what you're paying on this product. We have the Flight Center as a partner. We've got dedicated account managers to handle any personal or business travel that you guys want to do. Again, we've negotiated discounts with all these partners that are only available to program wealth engineers. Then we've got some retailers, Hirsch's, Checkers, and Take-A-Lot. You all know them. Again, we've negotiated discounts to help you guys save on the spend that we're going to be doing anyway every month. And then we've got a new partner, FHM Personal Training. So once you've got that hair plucked and you want to get your body ready for the beach, that's what winter's really for. Come spring, through FHM Personal Training, nutrition, health, he has a whole holistic approach to personal training, and he's one of the new partners. And next month we'll be adding Yuppie Chef to the list.
Yeah,
Not bad?
It's unbelievable. For me, this is the most exciting product that we have at DuePoint. I really, for immediate material value, this one blows me away every time. And its actual cost is 149 Rand a month, because 100 Rand of your 249 a month is converted into Wealth Points, which is what you utilize in your spend. It's absolutely exciting. This one blows me away every single time. So, folks, it's not just about the system. It's not just about the products. You get a lot of stuff in addition. Everything that you see here tonight is yours as a wealth engineer at no additional cost. We have presentation rooms, we have board rooms, we have breakaway rooms, we have iPads, we have everything online for you in this office.
Is this your only office?
This is our only office, Rob. I knew he was going to ask that question.
Is this a Gauteng-based business?
No, it's not. It is
isn't.
our only office. And that's a good point.
I've been bleeding friends to the Republic of Cape Town at a rate at the moment, so it better not only be Joburg-based.
No, exactly. DuePoint gives you as a wealth engineer, immediate nationwide footprint. Our major presentations and training sessions are all streamed live around the country. If you've got friends in Cape Town or friends in Knysna or friends in Port Elizabeth, they can watch us live in full HD surround sound. One of the few companies in South Africa that's actually doing it, and we do it on a regular basis. Basically once a week at least, one of our presentations goes out, sometimes twice a week, live streamed. Everyone can see it. But in addition, all of our training and all of our presentations are recorded and put online immediately. They are edited live, so that the moment our presentations are literally instantly after they're completed, they're online, and anybody that needs to see them can see them at a fingertip. In addition, your entire channel is online for you, which means that 24/7, anywhere in the world, you have real-time access into your channel on your dashboard. As long as you've got an internet connection, you're there. And in addition, of course, Rob, you get the whole team. The whole team. We've had years of experience in doing this business. We're available to you. At any point in time, you can book time with us to strategize, to train, and just to gain more knowledge in what you're doing here. All available to you for free as a wealth engineer, no cost at all. So, Rob, it's decision time, buddy. The big bright one wakes everybody back up again. The doors are locked, the air conditioners are off. You have to make a decision tonight.
Okay, don't pressurize me. I might be a designer, but I'm not one of those impulsive designers. I think the print designers are impulsive, but I am a multimedia designer, to be specific, and I love to collect as much data as possible and research before I make any life-changing decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people say that to me. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is fantastic, but I need to think about it." Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's a reasonable decision. But folks, this is what you need to be thinking about when you go away to think about it. Is the course or the route that you're on right now guaranteeing you two things? A path to those aspirations and dreams you once had, and a path of security where you have paid off your debts and prepared your retirement. Most people don't want to think about that. We numb it and we put it in a closet and we go, no, there's only two ways I can do this. I need to be full-time employed, or I need to start my own business. Folks, tonight, you need to consider very carefully the path that you are on. Rob, have you considered it very carefully?
No. But if I do decide to join this evening, what do I need to do?
It's very easy. If you do decide to become a wealth engineer this evening, and I told you it's completely risk-free, it costs you nothing, there's three things you have to do. The first is go and sign up. You sign up on your phone, on your tablet if you brought one with you, or on one of our iPads out at the back. It's going to take you 5 minutes. You'll be in, you'll be registered, you'll get a wealth engineer number, and you're A for away. That's it. Once you're in, sit down with your lead wealth engineer, that's the person who brought you here this evening, and tell them what your dreams were again. What was the goal that you once had? And then formulate a plan with them to get there. If you don't have a goal and don't have a plan, you're not going anywhere. Start formulating that with your lead wealth engineer. And then go out and do the only task you have to do as a wealth engineer, the simplest one in the world. Tell everybody about DuePoint. Tell everybody about the fact that they can take control of their future again, that they can take control of their finances again. Go and tell them. That's all you need to do. So, Rob, what do you think?
Okay, Brendan, well done. Thank you. I think you handled yourself okay. Guys,
that's one for the accountants.
Guys, that concludes our throwdown. So I hope over the last hour, thank you. I hope over the last hour that, I seem convinced. Whether you guys are convinced, that's yet to be shown. But I think we've presented you with all the information. As much as I accuse Brendan of being a fearmonger, it's really the reality that faces South Africans at the moment. I mean, my wife is a labor litigator for Anglo. In our household, I am extremely familiar with the amount of retrenching and, the term even, job security just does not exist anymore. It does not exist. The way we've been doing things, you come out of school and you plot yourself onto this kind of path of education and enterprise later when you get a job, has no safety in it. No safety whatsoever. If you haven't been retrenched, you're probably going to be retrenched. We've shown you the benefits of what the system does. You guys need to look at the facts, as Brendan said, instead of the perception of what you might have thought this business was about, and make a decision this evening. And I challenge you guys, come speak to me afterwards. If you think you have a business opportunity in this country that is better than what we have at DuePoint, I would love to hear it. So we will be outside, happy to answer any questions. And again, I thank you for coming out this evening.
Yeah. And folks, before you get excited, don't clap for him, you clap for me. Before you get excited. We run presentations like this 4 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If you become a wealth engineer this evening, you can start building your future tomorrow. Literally tomorrow, you can get started with this. Folks, we run training development seminars every second Saturday where we teach you everything there is to know about DuePoint. We have tools outside that will help you. You don't have to get to rank 7 to get the 7,000 Rand business cards. You can buy the 600 Rand business cards outside. There are all sorts of pieces of merchandise you can use to start talking about DuePoint to people. I encourage you to ask about them at reception afterwards. But what I encourage you more to do is to start plugging yourself into the DuePoint system. Hit our website, DuePoint.net, once you've signed up this evening, and go and see all the things that are at your fingertips as a wealth engineer here at DuePoint. Here is an example of how you can how you can immediately start to feel value in your channel, even if you've only been with us for 5 minutes. We run monthly wealth quests, And where you achieve the criteria of those wealth quests, we give you even greater tools for the development of your channel. This particular month in April, we're giving everybody who meets the criteria of this wealth quest a brand new iPad. These are ways that you start to feel your life changing immediately with DuePoint. So folks, as Rob said, thank you for your time this evening. Meet us outside. Do not leave until you've had your questions answered. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you there.